Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these rather delightful hairy clips. No, hearty hair clips they are, and they're all made with all Lavinia stamps and a little bit of shrink plastic magic. Enough chat from me. Come with me and let me show you how it's done. Okay, before we start really making, I'm going to show you how to make a mini heart template. And really, you start off with an MDF shape, heart shape, and some Sizzix shrink plastic, and draw around the shape. Here we go, drawing around the shape right now. And then we're going to cut that out. Oh, I'm obviously thinking I need to do two. Bear with. Here we go. Right. So I've cut it out and now I'm just going to shrink it. Now you can see because it's a large shape, when it shrinks it looks rather frightening because it's just this lump of plastic. And all I'm doing is constantly moving it round so the heat is getting to different parts of it. So the only time I would actually get two hands in there is if it looks like it's stuck. Now that doesn't happen that often, but with bigger shapes it is more likely to. Once it's stopped shrinking, flatten it out and draw around that, because that is your first template. Okay? Hence the T1 that I've written on it. And now I'm going to shrink that one. So I'm writing T2 on it before. And here we go. It's magic, isn't it? And there, I'm drawing around that one, just in case I fancy doing a really teeny-weeny heart, which I may well do, because that's the size we're going to be using today, the T3. So we're going to be using the T2, rather, to shrink it down to the size of the T3. Can you see what I'm saying? I do hope so. Okay, so now we're making the tiny hearts. So using that T2 that we've just done, the middle size, I'm going to need how many? 6 hearts. But obviously I thought I might need more. I've kept going. And I'm just going to cut them out. Now with shrink plastic, if you try and make sure that you don't keep too much weight behind your scissors, you should be fine. Now we're going to colour the hearts, and you might have had a glimpse, it's going to be Posca. And I'm literally pushing the nib down on those hearts and rubbing that acrylic over the hearts. Try and make sure you use a clean finger for each colour. This is the quickest way of doing it. You can see I'm doing the old-fashioned smudge there. Sharing. And there's the yellow Posca. So that was coral pink and aqua green. And I've got archival ink jet black, because that's what works on shrink plastic the best. And I've taken up the Never Let Go stamp, but only using the Dreams, because I rather like it, just on its own, and with some little mushrooms from the Lamps stamp. And then we've got a pixie house in extreme slow-mo, and one of the birds from the bird collection. I mean, they look dinky enough already, don't they? But you wait till we shrink them. That's the mini leaf creeper. And I'm just going to go around with basically the colours that we've used on the other hearts. So I've got aqua green, and I'm putting it on any heart that hasn't got aqua green. There you go. So it's going in on the yellow. And the coral pink will be going in on the aqua green and the yellow. Am I making sense? I do hope so. So it ties them all in together. I'm adding an extra colour, apple green, just because it's rather lush and spring-like. There we go. And there's the yellow going on. Putting the lights on in that house. Fabulous. And this, my friends, is the yellow again. What are we going to do now, I ask myself. So we're now going to be making the clip, the bar basically, for our hearts to sit on and for them to that then helps them perch on top of that crocodile clip that you can see hovering in the background. So I've measured out some bars, usually to about the width of 4 hearts. So I know I've got space for a little bit of space at the end of each, if that makes sense. Once I've put the heart, because I'm only using 3 on each bar. Sorry, let me just get that clear. So I'm using Pan Pastel, and that was bright yellow green. And this is the chromium oxide green shade, and I'm just using that on the edges. You can round your edges if you don't want quite a blunt shape. And I've just grabbed that Replenish stencil and I'm zigzagging in the stencil itself with a Posca pen. It gives quite an 80s feel, but what I'm trying to do is use that green as a background and use the colours of the Posca that we have used on the hearts to tie it all in together. So that was a Posca pen yellow. And you can see are just zigzagging, and that stencil provides a great boundary, if you like, for us to bounce off with the pen. And here we go. Which one's this one? Your guess is as good as mine. I reckon it's the coral. And it is. Here we go. So that's one done, and we're off doing the second. Exactly the same thing. Just find, I went with something like, the smaller teardroppy shapes, I'll do those coral pink. The larger hearts, I'll do those aqua green. The larger teardroppy shapes, I'll do those yellow. So you just come up with your own pattern as to how you'd fancy doing that. And if these colours aren't for you, that's fab. Find your own. Do whatever makes you happy. There we go. So now it's shrinking time. So I've popped mine on some paper. And here we go. I love the way it looks like a bottle. And its tail wags as well. And then you have it. Look. Magic, isn't it? Magic. Now, if it doesn't look like it's flattening, turn it over onto the shiny side. Give it a quick blast that way, and it should flatten itself out perfectly. Now here's my heart, the first one, my love heart with a little lovebird on it. And look at how dinky that goes. And splat with that shrinking tool. Magic. Oh, it's absolutely magic. Look at how big they were originally. And those stamps that we thought were mini stamps anyway, go even minier. Magic. So I've sped this up because it looks funnier. There we go. Next one, we are going to add some fab foils to these, just to give it that little sparkly edge. So I'm using a Zig 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to take it around the edge of the heart. And I'm all for using a couple of shades if you want to, and that's the Ranger Heat tool. Just heat it up until it gets sticky, like the back of a sticker or a postage stamp. And I'm adding some teal fab foil. Fabulous. Again with the Zig 2-way glue pen. Heat it up till it gets tacky. And this time I've gone for some gold. I find that putting 2 different colour foils on just lifts it beyond. You know, you look at something and you think, oh, that's going to have that colour all the way around it. But you look again when you see that, oh, no, it hasn't. That's what I think anyway. Okay, so same again. Look, I'm being ambitious. I'm doing 2 at the same time. Hurrah! Magic. 2 yellows. Oh, no, I'm going with the pinkies. There we go. Well, Emma Jo, I don't know if that's going to work. You know, I'm going to show you it does. Look at this. There we go. So I've put the gold on that one. Oh, no, rose gold. Or is that the next one? That was gold first, I think, and then rose gold the second. And what are we doing for the yellow? Again, heat it up till it gets tacky. Obviously, I don't work at this speed. I'm not superhuman yet. Gone with the gold for all of them. And just cut a little bit. I think that's going to be the copper going on there. Yep, that was copper. And now we're going to pay attention to the edges. So I'm getting some Cosmic Shimmer, metallic gilding polish, petrol blue, rather like that colour. And I'm just using it on the edges of the bar. Now I have stuck these hearts down using glossy accents, but you know, in the cold weather, I was finding that they didn't want to stick. And that's probably because not one of those surfaces is porous. So I ended up using a hot glue gun, and that works just as well. And now we're going to use hot glue anyway. So got my hot glue gun. That's my new toy. And it seems rather good, actually. Rather pleased with it. Anyway, so I've got a little strip of felt. Exactly the same, or as close as I can, to the same size as the bar. See, those hearts are stuck on rather nicely now. And I'm just going to trim that as close as I can. And don't forget, you can round those edges. You can make it look a lot more dainty than I have. I'm really just giving you an inkling as to how to make this happen. And I find using felt as an in-between. So I've put my hot glue on the crocodile clip, and I've just pressed our felt-backed bar onto that crocodile clip, and as if by magic, you've got a hair clip with a lovely attachment. And they're fab for just popping your hair up and looking different. And you, my friends, you have done it. Well done. Now, there's no picture of me wearing these because, to be honest, I'd wear them behind my head. And I can't really do you a picture of that. But they are stunning. And I hope you have fun with them. If you have any comments you'd like to make about this craft, please pop them in the post below and I will do my very best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye.